Point to me when we go.
Well, right now they can see you now.
Oh, good.
So this is what they're seeing right now.
Oh, good. All right. Yeah, let me know when we're ready. And I'll... All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Sheriff Balaam, and thank you for letting me join you today. And in honor of Read Across America Day, I'm going to be able to read you a book. And we are going to read The Police Are Part of Our Community. But again, I want to thank you all for joining me. This is my office. And so I figured I'd read from my office because so many times I run into kids that they want to know where the sheriff works. So this is where I come to work. Like for you, if you're at home or if you're in the classroom, when you go to school, this is where I do all of my work. And I like to point out as I come into my office, some of the neat things that are really special to me. And as you can see behind, I have pictures of my family, but also for all of you out there that are going to school and learning, that you may want to go on to college. We have our favorite college, the University of Nevada, Reno. So I have the Wolf Pack behind me. And then for all the kids you may have seen, I have one of my favorite, the Bears and Badges. And so what I would tell you is if you ever see a deputy sheriff out there, and you'll see in the book, not only say hi to them, but I can tell you those bears that come from the Reno Rodeo, they're really soft. So if you love bears, stop one of our deputies and ask him for a bear because they should have a bear. So again, for the teachers and schools out there, quick reminder, we are streaming this. So if you don't want your students to be mindful of students, please turn off your camera if you don't want their faces out there. And please, as we always do, as we've learned to Zoom over the last almost 2 years now, please mute your mics. At the end, if I have a few minutes, I'd love to take some questions. So if there's some questions out there that any of you students would like to ask or teachers, please let me know. And so we're going to get started and we're going to read The Police Are a Part of My Community. And this is by illustrations by Bria DuBose, and the author is Dr. Alfred Titus, who's a retired NYPD detective from New York. Police officers take an oath to protect us and keep us safe. An oath is a promise that includes trust. Do you know what trust is? Trust means telling the truth and being someone who someone else can count on. Trust is an important part of being a police officer. And if you can see here, like when we take the oath, we always raise our right hand. So like when you see anybody take an office, they always take an oath and they raise the right hand, and that's what we do. Boys and girls can become police officers. Police officers can be any race, color, or religion. Police officers can be someone in your family, like your mommy, daddy, uncle, or aunt. You can be a police officer when you grow up. And as you can see, we have a lot of police officers, just like we have in our region. We have the deputy sheriffs, we have Reno, Sparks, NHP, school police. You can be any type of police officer you want. A police officer's job can be dangerous. Police officers wear safety equipment to keep them safe and help them do their job of saving and helping people. And as you can see, hopefully on there, we'll try to zoom in. All of us wear a vest. I'm wearing a vest right now. We have our flashlight. So if we go in dark places or work at night, we have our body cameras that we all wear. And we have our radios. And again, usually when I walk around and I'm walking around kids, that's what they always want to see on our belt is a lot of our tools that we use to keep us safe and help serve you and keep you safe. If you are lost or in trouble, find a police officer and they will keep you safe and get you home to your family. And I always tell you that if you're ever lost at a park or if you go shopping and you get separated from your family or friends, your mom or dad, always look for a police officer and they can help get you home. Police officers use police dogs to help them do their job. Police dogs are in the canine unit. Police dogs are police officers too. Police dogs save lives. And hopefully, maybe some of you have seen some of our police dogs or some of the other agencies' police dogs around. We just retired one of our police dogs. And like it says here, if you ever notice on our dogs, on their collar, they have their own badge, just like I have my badge. and they are a deputy just like we are. Police officers in the mounted unit ride horses. Police officers in the bicycle unit ride bicycles. Mounted police officers and bicycle police officers always wear their safety helmets, and so should you. And again, hopefully you've seen us in parades or at the rodeo. We have our horses. We don't ride a lot of bicycles, but for any of you that have horses out there, or I know a lot of you ride your bicycles, skateboarders, scooters, any of those, I would tell you, make sure you wear your helmet. Police officers in the aviation unit use helicopters, and police officers in the harbor unit use boats. Police officers use helicopters and police boats to rescue people from the water and other dangerous areas. And again, you may have seen, we have some helicopters that fly around our area. And if you go up to Lake Tahoe or out at Pyramid Lake, we have police boats. So again, if you're ever out there swimming, again, remember if you're on the water, wear life vests. And if you go hiking outside, make sure you bring the proper water bottles and equipment. So if you get lost out there. Police officers ride in police cars and police motorcycles to get to you fast. Police use sirens and flashing lights to alert others that there is an emergency and that they need to get by. And you may have seen this, any of our patrol cars or motorcycles that go on the road, you'll hear the loud sirens and flashing lights. And again, if you ever hear that, I would tell you, make sure you look around because even fire engines have them, but make sure you step off to the sidewalk or as you get older and you're driving, always pull over to the side like your mom and dad or aunt and uncle, whoever in the car is driving with you should do. Police officers use drones to look into areas they can't see to help them find lost children. Police officers use robots for dangerous missions that are not safe for police officers. And again, we have drones. You may see them. Some of you may have the smaller drones, and we have robots. So I know we've gone to some schools and you may have seen some of our robots. We have little small ones to ones that sit very high. Part of a police officer's job is to make sure everyone follows the law. If the police stop your mom or dad, don't be afraid. Stay calm, listen carefully, be respectful, and follow directions. When there is mutual courtesy and respect from both sides, everyone will be safe. And you may have seen this. Unfortunately, maybe someone that was driving you around may have stopped. Don't ever be afraid. And if they ask questions, answer the questions, or you can ask them questions. Police officers are trained to keep us safe while being a positive part of the community. Police officers learn community policing and many other important topics. So again, just like you, we go to school every year. We have to do training, so we learn. And hopefully, again, when you see us in our schools, in your schools, or you see us out and about, that's part of community policing. And what that is we work with you to help keep everyone safe. Through community policing, the police and the community work together to create a better and safer community when building true and trust and respect for each other. So again, if your school has an event, sometimes we may send police officers out there with our dogs or our patrol cars, and that's so that we can get to know you and you can get to know us. Police officers are a part of the community. And you may have seen this where some of us may have come out to your school, played basketball, or maybe some of us coach some of your sports after school or come to your after school programs. So hopefully, again, when you see us, make sure you come up and say hi, and hopefully we come up and say hi to you guys. The next time you see a police officer in your community, say hello. So again, if you see us driving around your neighborhood, wave at us, and hopefully we should be waving back. Stop, ask us what we're doing, ask how we're doing, and we should be asking you how your day is. If you're riding a bike, make sure you're wearing a helmet or a scooter, but hopefully you're having fun, whatever you're doing. And that is the end of our story. So I want to thank you guys all for letting me join you in your classroom or your house. And I think we have a few minutes. This may be a little difficult, but if there is a classroom out there or a young child, raise your hand. And if the teacher can unmic you, or if you're at home, if you can unmic, I can't get everybody, but if there's a few questions, I'll see if I can answer some of them.
Hi there. One of our friends has a question for you.
Okay.
Why are you a police officer?
Why am I a police officer? I am a police officer because I love to serve our community and keep all of you safe. I grew up in this area. So as a little kid, I went to a lot of the schools that you're in, and I just love to help people and to keep them safe. So whether you're lost, whether something may have happened, maybe you're in an accident, to show up and to help people. That's why I became a police officer, is because I wanted to keep people safe, and I wanted to help you if you were ever in need, even if that meant, say you were walking home and you had a flat tire, and just to be able to give you a ride. Those little things are what I love to do and why I became a police officer. Any more questions out there? Okay, we got a hand. We're going to try and unmute you. Hold on. We're unmuting. Hold on one sec. Oh, I got one while we're unmuting you. How old am I? I'm old. No, I am 48 years old. And I have a couple kids that are older, and I have some that are in one that's in middle school. Was I scared to be a sheriff? You know what? Sometimes I do get scared, especially at nighttime. I think like all of us, when it's dark out, there are times when police officers, and that's why we always say, we don't know who you are. Sometimes you know who we are because we're in uniforms, but that's where it always helps to stay calm. We stay calm, but sometimes that's why I have my tools of my flashlight so I can see at night. Or you see oftentimes multiple deputies come so that we're together.
Mrs. D's class asked, what is your favorite police dog?
Mrs. D's asked what my favorite police dog. I would say all of them. We just retired Titus yesterday, but every one of our dogs, we just got 2 new dogs a month ago. And what I will tell you about the dogs is this: they love to go to work. So if they've ever come to your school once, and again, what I would always tell you is if you see our canines out, before you run up and want to pet them, because we all want to pet them because they're just so lovable, make sure you tell their canine handler, ask them if it's okay. But those dogs love to go to work. And so for me, it's every one of our dogs, even our ones that we've had to retire.
Miss Skidmore asked, how many sheriffs are there?
So Miss Skidmore asked how many sheriffs we have. So we have a total of 400 and I got to think because we just got 22 new ones, 479 total deputy sheriffs, but I have a whole civilian staff. So if you ever come, we have search and rescue and our hasty teams. We have booking clerks. I have my people that are helping me do this video right now. Front desk people. So overall at the sheriff's office, the entire sheriff's office, we have 789 employees, but only one sheriff. So only one of me, but I have a phenomenal team of both deputy sheriffs and civilian staff.
Miss Gomez asked, how long does it take to become a detective or a sheriff?
Okay, so Miss Gomez class asked how long it takes to be a detective or a sheriff. So this is what I have to tell you. You have to be at least 21 years old. So that's the first step. And then it takes from the time you apply to be just a deputy sheriff, it takes about 1 year with our testing and our physical, because you have to go to class. So I count that. So once we hire you, you have to go across the street. If you've ever been where our office is at 911 Par Boulevard, we have a big training center across the street on the freeway. So you go to a 23-week academy, just like you guys are in class. We send them to a class and then they graduate. They come over here and then we put them through another 13-week training program. So all that entire process to be a deputy sheriff, it takes about a year. And then to be a detective, it takes about 5 to 8 years. Because for us, you start in the jail and then you go out to patrol and then you test and you become a detective. And then if you want to run for sheriff, you can do that later on after you become a deputy for a while, and then you can run for sheriff.
What is the difference between sheriff and police?
So one question is, what's the difference between a deputy sheriff and a police officer? So the only difference is this: A deputy sheriff, many of you may live in the city of Reno or city of Sparks. So a deputy sheriff and the sheriff's office, you all live in Washoe County. So for the sheriff's office and the sheriff, we are in charge of the entire county, although we have multiple other police agencies within the cities. So the deputy sheriffs, we travel throughout the entire county. We typically patrol certain areas, just like Reno and Sparks Police Department patrol those areas. But that's really the biggest difference that you guys would see is we're in charge of the entire county. So way out in the hills. So that's why you see if you get lost, we have to have search and rescue. The sheriff's office and deputy sheriffs, we have to have a jail where the police departments don't. If you ever go visit a court and what we call district court, which is downtown Reno, you'll see that their deputy sheriffs in there for bailiffs. And a police officer does not have to be a bailiff. So they help the judges in the courtroom. And then our search and rescue. And so again, if you ever get lost in the hills or out in the water at the lake, or just lost in your neighborhood, you may see our search and rescue come out. So that's the difference between a police officer and a deputy is we have all those additional responsibilities. But ultimately, all of us are here to keep you guys safe.
Have you ever rescued someone before?
Have I ever rescued somebody before? So yes, I have. So when I was in Incline, I worked on the boat patrol. And so we had some people that their boat had ran out of water, ran out of water. They were on water, ran out of gas. And so we had to go help them tow their boat in. And then a couple times out on patrol, when I was in patrol, we had some people that were lost out in the kind of the rural areas by Pyramid Lake and out by Gerlach. And so we had to go out and help. And then also a couple of our big fires, we had to go help evacuate people from their homes as the fires came in, unfortunately, and burned some of those residents.
What do the stars on your uniform?
Oh, what do the stars right here? So many people ask that. So as you may notice, even in police departments, but sheriff's office, what stars indicate is that we're part of the executive staff. So for sheriffs, we have 4 stars. The number 2 person, the person that's right below me, my undersheriff, he has 3 stars. And then chief deputies have 2 stars. And then you see bars. So those are supervisors is what I would tell you. But the stars mean, you know, I'm the sheriff. And then deputies, they don't have any stars and they don't have anything on, but we all have our patches that mean we are here to serve you as deputy sheriffs.
Is it fun being a sheriff?
Is it fun being a sheriff? Absolutely. I would tell anybody out there, as you go through school, if you want to be a deputy or a police officer or anything in the criminal justice system, it is a great profession. Helping people is a blast. Being able to do what I'm doing now, reading to you guys, is an absolute joy. So being a sheriff, I've loved it. I've loved the opportunity to serve all of you. And so I would encourage all of you as you continue through your schooling, if that's something you want to do, as you get older, please come visit us and see what we do.
What kind of cars do you drive?
What kind of cars do we drive? So for us at the sheriff's office, you may notice on patrol, we do have our motorcycles. They really don't go off-road, but all of us typically drive either trucks or what we call SUVs or like Tahoes, because a lot of our areas are in the rural. So we have to go off onto dirt roads, up into the mountains. We have Incline Village. So we have to go up and down Mount Rose when it snows. So we usually drive 4-wheel drive trucks or Tahoes. Or Jeeps, but then we also have our helicopters that we use. We have some dirt bikes. So if we have to go off, we have some dirt bikes. And then our search and rescue, if we have to have them, they have their side-by-side. So they're Rangers, they have snowmobiles. So we have a lot, but on a day-to-day, it's trucks and 4-wheel drives.
From Miss Cruz, is it stressful being a sheriff?
So for Miss Cruz, is it stressful being sheriff? And I would tell you, it's just as stressful like it is for you guys when you have a test coming, right? When you have that test coming, you're a little stressed out. You want to do good. You want to get that A. And so, yes, to be a sheriff, because one, I'm worried about all of my employees. I want to make sure that they go home to their families. And then I'm worried about all of you. And I want to make sure if you are in trouble or you're injured or you're hurt or you're scared, that we help you. So It is stressful, but again, I think I have a great team here, and we have all of you that always say hi to us and support us, and that helps.
Miss Rose class would like to know, what gadgets do you have?
So Miss Rose's class wants to know what gadgets I have. So as sheriff, I have a little bit different. So I don't have a body cam like all my patrolmen that are in patrol, or so I don't carry a body cam, but I do have a vest. So you can't see it. It's under my shirt. So I have a bulletproof vest. I have my keys because I need my keys. So that's my car keys. And I put them in here. I have my magazines and they're for my gun. So I have 2 of those. I have a radio. I have a flashlight behind me. So again, if I'm out at night, and then I have my gun that keeps me safe. So, and then I usually have 2 cell phones because all of us have cell phones now. And that's some of my equipment that I have. You may see deputy sheriffs that have it because they're always out on the road and they're dealing with people and they're helping you. That you may see what looks like a gun. It should usually be over on this side, maybe yellow, maybe yellow and black, and that's a taser. So a lot of deputy sheriffs carry a taser. And then they'll have a body cam that usually sits right here. So it looks like a little black box. And so they have body cams. And then you may also see sometimes on their belts, they have what looks like a little canister, and that's called what we call OC or pepper spray. And so all the deputies carry that as well.
2 more questions.
All right, 2 more questions I have.
When did you start your career?
When did I start my career? Well, that is a great question. So I actually started my career when I was 20 years old. And so again, what I want to tell all of you out there that want a career in law enforcement, the one difference that we have here at the sheriff's office is because I have over 300 plus civilians. There are many jobs that once you complete your high school degree, whether that's a GED, high school diploma, you can get a job at 18 if you have that degree on the civilian side. So that's what I did. I started out as a property clerk when I was 20 years old. So I kind of handled all of the inmate clothing in the jail, which is a civilian position. And then when I was 21 years old, I started out as a deputy sheriff, and I've been here now for I'm going on 25 and a half years.
This teacher we know, Landon from Mrs. Hospodar's class.
Okay.
Wants to know how you help the community.
So Landon from Mrs. Hospodar's class wants to know how we help the community. So we do it in a bunch of ways, and hopefully you've seen us out there and we've helped you. Some of the things we do is we come to schools and we may bring our canines, we may bring our motorcycles, we may bring our helicopters or patrol cars, and we talk about how we're here to help you. We let you see who we are. We interact with you. Like I pointed out, one of my favorite bears in the back. If we go to calls or if you see us out there, or sometimes maybe you've hurt yourself, or sometimes maybe something's happened to you. Maybe, unfortunately, maybe somebody's bullied you and we've gotten called to the school of your house and you're very upset. We give you those bears to help you know that not only are we here for you, but now you have this partner, this bear. We do Shop with a Sheriff. So every year we do about 250 kids and our honoraries, which is another part of the sheriff's office. And we take 250 kids and we go shopping at Walmart for Shop with the Sheriff during Christmas time. We do backpacks in July, Christmas in July. So we will partner. And this last year we did it in July at the Boys and Girls Club in Sparks. And we handed out 600 backpacks. We do child fingerprinting. So if you see us at the Reno Rodeo and some other events, we'll do fingerprinting. And so there's a lot of things we do where we go out, we try to help you. You may just call us, or maybe your mom and dad call us because maybe something's happened to your house. And we show up and we're there to help you, give you resources. And the biggest thing is to keep you safe. And so with all of that, for the teachers out there, thank you for making time in your busy schedules and schools. I know you guys have a packed schedule. Thank you for allowing me to join you in the classrooms, or for those that are at home in your homes. Thank you for coming into my office today. And for everybody out there, I encourage you, study hard, read a lot, learn as much as you can. And at the end of the day, you can be whatever you want. Thank you and have a great day. Be safe.